Hi. I wanted to make this video because I had a really bad day Monday, and I think because I've been doing well, I've been showing you guys that side, but dating is really hard. Healing from a long-term relationship is really hard. Being alone is really hard. I want to share with you what I've been going through and like the things I've been struggling with, and then also how I'm keeping a healthy mindset and how I'm like not allowing my reality that is sometimes upsetting to me, or my past that is sometimes upsetting to me, get in the way of the progress that I've made and my happiness. And like, I don't know, I feel like you guys are getting a totally different side of me because I've always been in a relationship. Like the whole time I've had my channel, I've been in a relationship, and now I'm like in this new world of dating and being single, and it's so freaking weird because now I'm like, I feel like I'm part of this club now. When I used to talk to my friends who were single while I was in a relationship, I didn't truly understand what they were going through and what they were saying and how they were feeling and how fucking crazy it is to date. Like, it's crazy. You're literally going out with people you've never met before. You're like, I don't know if I'm attracted to them. Let's meet up and see how it goes. They might be crazy. They might be toxic. They might be presenting as this person that they're not. They really aren't. Like, it's crazy. Should I have sex with them? Should I not have sex with them? Should we hook up? There's so many things. So many things. It's kind of exciting, though, because this is so new to me. And now I get to like relate to some of you that I haven't been able to relate to. And you can probably relate to me in a totally different way. It's like you're seeing a different side of me. And like I'm figuring this out for the first time on camera, you know? But yeah, I just wanted to like have a really real chat with you guys. I am going to be posting videos about my wedding day. I went to the city with my friends. I got a Dalmatian, literally fulfilling my childhood dream. I think that's what I'm going to title that video. Last dog. Let me know what else you want to see from me. I can read you some crazy things guys have said. I can tell you some crazy things. My friends and I just have great stories. Maybe I'll have Kelsey over because she's my other single friend, and we'll have some wine and we'll tell fucking crazy stories about these men. It's really entertaining. It really is. Maybe I'll make a video about like my list of what I want in a guy. Like the highest quality man, the best type of person for me, the thing I'm looking for. I think that would be kind of interesting. Let's get into why I've been kind of a mess lately. I wouldn't honestly say mess. Like I had one hard day and I already feel so much better. When I was going through my breakup with Steven, my therapist was like, it's healthy to dive into your pain. When these things were happening, when he would do something that showed me he didn't give a fuck about me in the relationship or didn't want to put effort in, I took that data and I was like, okay, these are reasons why we should break up. Or am I going to take what he just did to therapy and be like, how am I going to fix this? It was never like, wait, what does this actually mean? Like, I'm so hurt that he's doing this. I never got to process the emotional side of it. It was always like logical. It's a breakup, logical fact. This is what he did. This is what he did. Or how are we going to fix it? Blah, 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 blah. It was never like, how do I feel about this? And now, 5 months later, all these things are coming up that I'm like, this is how I feel about them. And I'm sad about them. And it hurts me. And I'm glad that I can learn from them. And, you know, every single thing I do, like I said, I'm by myself. And like, I don't have anybody that I'm dating that I'm like, this is my person. You guys probably know this by now, but I feel like I've never had any consistent person in my life that has always been there for me. So I just had a really, really hard day on Monday. It's always gonna come up. You're always going to have that until you face it head on and process it, write about it, go to therapy, talk to a friend about it, feel it, cry about it. But we also learn in DBT that a distraction is not always a bad thing. You can give yourself a break. You don't have to sit in a dark room and stare at the ceiling and cry for a week. Like, do that and then use healthy distractions to like allow you to get on with your life, or to start doing things that feel painful, but like you're like, okay, I know I need to get up today. I need to go to the store, and this is going to remind me of the thing that I'm upset about, but I'm going to push through it. And then at the end of the day, I'm going to know that even though this song, this place that I drove by, this movie, whatever, reminded me of this event that I'm upset about, this person, I still got through it.
This is all about how to distract yourself from pain. If there's something going on in your life that's painful and you don't want to deal with it at this very moment, these are things that you can do to make yourself feel better. in a healthy way. And like I said, you do have to process it at some point, but read this. Just read it.
Part of my DBT therapy and my therapy in general is about accepting the moment that you are in and living in the moment that you're in. If I'm driving to the gym and I'm in the car and I'm singing, I'm thinking about other things. I'm imagining a conversation I'm gonna have with this person next time I see them. I'm thinking about a guy that I'm talking to. And it's like, I feel like I'm just afraid to accept my reality sometimes. And so that's how I cope with it. I like don't want to acknowledge what is actually my real life.
I'm sorry I'm not showing my face, by the way. I picked the shit out of my skin last night, and I'm just not feeling it. It's a habit that I formed when I was super young. Like, I don't even remember how long I've been doing this, but as long as I can remember. And now, like I said, I had one bad day recently, but like, I've been doing really well and I enjoy my life now. You guys see what I post on Instagram and like little clips in my YouTube videos of like the little tiny things about my day that bring me peace and joy and fulfillment, even though I am alone and single and figuring things out. So I don't want to continue that habit. If you have a similar like thing that you struggle with where your mind kind of wanders and it's hard for you to just be 100% in each moment every single day, maybe you overthink a lot. This is what you can do to help you not do that.
You're supposed to focus on 5 senses to bring you back to the moment you're in. And you can do this when you're like in a group of people, you're having fun, and you are like anxious about your homework or your boss, your parents, your boyfriend, whatever. If you want to be more present in moments that you want to enjoy,
and to calm and slow down your mind when you're having racing, anxious thoughts,
you can do this thing where you focus on the 5 senses. So if you're in like a party setting, a fun setting, and you're like, I want to be enjoying this moment, why am I anxiously thinking about other things? Focus on what you see, feel, touch, hear, smell, all the senses, right? I might have mixed that up because I'm talking really fast. But anyway,
the key to this is not doing it judgmentally at all. All you're going to do is name facts. Like, I see a curtain, I see my fireplace, there is the pillow. Don't be like, look at that stupid pillow, look at that angry person over there. Do you have to do it non judgmentally? The way this becomes more natural is if you practice it every single day for a few minutes. So, when you're brushing your teeth in the morning, when you're doing the dishes, when you're doing something mindless, if you do this every single day, which was one of our assignments in DBT, like literally every single day, have to do it at least once a day, like focus on your 5 senses, name them factually, non-judgmentally. That will help you learn how to focus your mind because you're doing it in a non-stressful, non-really stimulating situation. So then once you get that skill down, if you have to use it in a more stressful situation or a more fun situation, just a heightened situation in general, you're going to have an easier time. And it's a skill that you have to practice.
So I also try to do this to prevent myself from like dissociating and not being in the moment because the moment's kind of painful. Like if I'm driving to the gym, it's like late at night, it's raining. I don't want to sometimes accept that I'm driving to the gym alone. I'm going to work out and then I'm going to come home to an empty house and this is my life. Like I don't have any love interests right now.
Okay, so these are my actual notes that I personally wrote during DBT class. One of the hardest parts about DBT is radical acceptance. So if you want to read this over, this is about accepting the things that you cannot change. We always want to control things. We want them to treat us a certain way. We want to feel a certain way. Radical acceptance is super important in your overall happiness when you really learn that there are some things you cannot control, and no amount of time that you spend thinking about this thing, no amount of time thinking about, is he gonna text me back? Like he said he was busy, but like we also did this and that, and then he didn't text me, and then for that, no amount of you thinking and justifying and whatever is gonna control the situation.
What actually makes me come into the moment the most is my sight. So I'll look at things and I'll be like, wow, look at the trees. One thing that I always do when I'm driving is I look at the yellow lines of the road and I go, those are the yellow lines. I'm in a car. I'm by myself. I feel sad because I'm by myself. And then I think about all the positives that I enjoyed that day or that I'm looking forward to that day. And I'm like, okay, we're gonna go antiquing, we're gonna film something, we're gonna hang out with the dogs, we're gonna make coffee, we're gonna go to McDonald's, we're gonna, within my calorie count, read some more of a book, we're gonna find a new book. I volunteered at a women's shelter, I sent my application in. Like, I focus on those things. That's really helping me to not have to dissociate and to like accept my reality, focusing on the positive things. This period of my life has a lot of ups and downs. Like, I meet someone and I'm excited about them and then they're not what I think, and then I meet someone again and they're not what it's been like a roller coaster, but I've been consistent with journaling, reading, getting outside with the dogs. My lifestyle of how I eat and work out and go to the gym like has all been consistent. To me, it's like if I stop going to the gym because I'm sad one day, or if I start eating way more than I normally do because I'm sad and I want something to like make me feel better in that moment. If I stop journaling, if I don't give therapy my all these things, it's just going to make the hard time harder, because at least now, like if I'm having a hard day, I'm like, okay, everything else is in line. I'm just having a hard time today because this guy or my past or thinking about Steven, how he treated me. Obviously, that's not easy. In DBT, we learn to think about short-term and long-term goals. A lot of the impulses we have when we're in pain are going to make us feel better in the moment, but make things 10 times worse in the future for our future selves.
These are my notes, a little bit of my notes on that topic, but basically we call it an action urge, and it's driven by emotion. So what you're supposed to do when you have an urge to lash out at someone, to yell at someone, to do anything that's not healthy, check the facts. Am I wanting to do this urge because it's going to scratch an emotional itch? It's going to like make me feel better in the moment? Or is this emotion and is this action warranted and valid by facts?
Even if you're in a relationship or you're talking to someone or like and something comes up, you might like want to say something to them that you know you shouldn't really say, or you might want to act out when you know you really shouldn't, and it's like it feels good in the moment to like do that, but then you have to think about how is it going to affect my relationship with this person, how is it going to affect my relationship with myself, my body, my mind, if I do this thing like long term. We also learn to do opposite action. So like this morning, I had the urge to stay in bed and watch Sex in the City. And instead of doing that, I was like, I have 3 dogs that I have to get up and take care of. I have food that I just got at the grocery store last night. Let's go take care of the dogs, get up. It was like 8 a.m. Make your breakfast, start doing your work, and you're going to feel better. And I did.
These notes are great for opposite action. It's like literally step by step how to do it. What's an example? That's why I love DBT. It's not just like vague things. Eventually I can show you more notes, but it's very like step by step. This is what you do. Okay, think of the senses. It has to be factual. You know, that was for what I was talking about earlier. But like this is another great example of just very granular, concrete things to do to help your mind.
It's like a thing that every single person experiences. When you're upset, you turn to like food, drugs, alcohol, lashing out at somebody, getting a fucking wild haircut, tattoos, going on a trip. I'm just gonna get away. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna just anything to like distract yourself, to give you that shot of like dopamine. I didn't process so many things during my relationship, and now 5 months after we broke up, I'm thinking about things that happened years ago.
If you're going to read any of them, read this one. These are my notes about diving into your pain. This is something that like people who are 60 years old that I know in my life still are avoiding thinking about, just thinking through pain from like their 20s, 30s, childhood. Like people are so scared to think about and talk about and relive, and obviously there's a reason for that. It's hard to think about things that are painful to you. But if you read this, it'll make sense. If you run away from it, it's going to come up. You're just going to be burying it and burying it and burying it and be living a life that is not true to you. You're going to be held back by this feeling, by this trauma, your whole life. It's going to build up. It's going to affect your relationships. It's going to affect your relationship with yourself. So you have to at some point dive into the pain. But what my therapist was saying is that you don't have to just like think about every single painful thing you went through all day long. There are certain points where, okay, I'm going to think about my breakup that happened yesterday for 2 hours today, and then I'm going to use healthy distractions to get myself through the day.
The pain that you're trying to distract yourself from is not going to go away until you process it. So if you distract yourself and distract yourself and it's always going to be there.
So, like I said, dive into it, but also remember that healthy distractions are going to get you through the day and help you survive.
I'm proud that I'm staying true to who I am and I'm not like really uncomfortable being alone to the point where I'm going to get into a relationship or hook up with someone or have whatever just because I don't like being alone. I genuinely am okay with being alone, and I think that's so important, and that was such a lesson that I needed to learn because that's why I stayed, part of the reason why I stayed in my relationship for so long. So now I know when I start dating somebody, I have confidence, and I have done this already, that if I don't like something, I am going to walk away because now I know that I can survive, and not just survive and like get by, but be genuinely happy on my own. All right, well, thank you guys for watching and listening. I hope that this helped you in some way. Like I said, I have the other videos coming up, but I'm grateful that I'm going through hard things and that I'm coming out on the other side of them, because every single day that's hard, every single thought that's sad, every single moment where I'm upset that I get through, I can look back and be like, I got through that. I'm stronger. I'm learning. I'm growing. And I love that. I love pushing myself. I love growing. So I just know that like if I would have gotten married, I would have gotten married being a person that I didn't even know. Like I'm learning so much about myself because I'm going through this, being single, dating. Like you just learn so much about yourself. I can't even like fathom not having gone through all of this and marrying someone. Like I'm just excited because I know that when I do meet my person, I'm gonna be like fully who I am, like fully experiencing all of these things and so many different people and personalities and what I want and what I don't want. Like I just think I'm going to be so much more confident when I do find that person, because like I have so much data now that I didn't have before. So I love you guys. We're in this together. Hang in there. All right, bye.